Good day, Grade 7 learners. This is Super Mom Z, and welcome to Sci Amazing Learning Videos. Previously, we were able to locate places on Earth using coordinate system, latitude, and longitude. Today, we will explore Earth's natural resources. Most essential learning competency. The learners should be able to cite and explain ways of using Earth's resources sustainably. Philippines, our very own country. Last time, we located the Philippines with respect to its latitude and longitude. We determined that it is close to the equator. If you can still remember, countries located near the equator experience sunshine all year round and receive abundant rainfall. Which leads to the question, are we a naturally rich country? If you say yes, I couldn't agree more. The sight of our natural land and water forms, as well as our endemic species, makes us a naturally rich country. So what are natural resources? These are things that we can find in our environment that we use to meet our needs. These resources are not made by humans or any scientific experiments inside the laboratories. Rather, they exist in nature. There are two types of natural resources: renewable and non-renewable. Renewable resources are ones that can be replaced in a short period of time. On the other hand, non-renewable sources are ones that take thousands of years to replace. Now let's take a look at these natural resources. Water resources. Because our country is made up of islands, the country's coastline, if laid end to end, would measure around 17.5 thousand kilometers. Since we are surrounded by bodies of water, which are the origin of typhoons, we receive abundant rainfall. We need water for domestic, irrigation, and industrial purposes, among others. Watershed is a drainage basin or catchment area that drains water into streams, rivers, lakes, and springs. Some of the watersheds in the Philippines are La Mesa Dam in Metro Manila and Angat Dam in Bulacan. These watersheds supply the water needed by the communities and the varied life forms in that area. Here in this image, we can see other watersheds in Visayas and Mindanao. A severe drought may cause rivers and deep wells to dry up, but when rain comes, the water is replaced. Water is considered a renewable resource. Let's proceed to biodiversity. Reports show that the Philippine archipelago boasts a high number of endemic plants and animals. The country hosts more than 52,177 species, of which more than half is found nowhere else in the world. These resources provide us food, timber, and help in tourism. Do you think they are renewable or non-renewable? Plants and animals are renewable resources because they can be replaced after some time. When we consume plants around us, these plants can be replaced by planting them again. Meanwhile, the young animals born replenish the animals that were consumed. Next, we have soil. Undeniably, Philippines have fertile land suitable for farming, which is why we are considered an agricultural country, sustaining our food production. Soil is formed from rocks that were broken down by physical and chemical weathering. Generally, it takes thousands of years for soil to form. Hence, soil is a non-renewable resource. Aside from the fertile lands in the Philippines, our country is recognized as the fifth mineral-rich country in the world. We have metallic minerals such as gold, copper, and iron, and non-metallic minerals such as sand, gravel, and marble. These minerals serve as materials for construction of roads, appliances, cooking, and jewelry. Why do you think our country is rich in mineral resources? Remember the Pacific Ring of Fire? It is called Ring of Fire because there is a continuous movement of very hot magma or molten materials under the ground. The countries included in the Pacific Ring of Fire is home to approximately 75% of the world's active volcanoes and trenches. Metallic mineral deposits like copper, gold, silver, lead, and zinc are usually mined from deep within the roots of volcanoes. Since the cooling and hardening of magma to form different kinds of igneous rocks takes a long time, rocks and minerals are considered non-renewable resources. Finally, our geological conditions also provide us with high potential for renewable energy resources. Solar energy is the energy from the sun. Geothermal energy is harnessed from heat within the earth. Hydropower is derived from fast-flowing water. Wind energy is generated from wind. Lastly, biomass energy comes from decomposition of organic wastes. These energy resources are now being used to provide us with electricity. Since these resources are abundant and replenish easily, they are renewable energy resources. They serve as alternative resources for the commonly used fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are formed from the deposits of decayed plants and animals that existed millions of years ago. Coal, crude oil, natural gas, and other fossil fuels are non-renewable because it will take millions of years for dead plants and animals to turn into fossil fuels. Now, how do human activities impact our natural resources? Take a look at these images. Activities such as blowing mountains for road projects, turning rice fields into subdivisions, building too many factories, growing population, and mining uncontrollably put a huge strain on the planet's ability to replenish the consumed resources. So how can we use Earth's natural resources sustainably? Sustainability is the practice of using Earth's resources in a responsible manner that will allow the resources to be available for the present and future generations. Are you practicing the 5 R's? Refuse, reduce, reuse, recycle, and rot? Refuse. Say no to single-use plastics such as straws. Reduce. Adopt minimalist tendencies. Reduce the amount of general waste you create. Reuse. Practice using something again. Recycle. Turn materials in the same or different form that would otherwise be discarded as waste. And rot. Compost all organic waste. Convert waste into energy resources. Also, we can save energy and use alternative energies that are a lot cleaner and renewable. These are also easily harnessed from the environment, such as the sun's heat, wind power, flowing water, and heat from the earth. We must stop the rich renewable energy sources of the country for a clean environment and sustainable future. Moving on, let us now check if you really understand the lesson. Let us evaluate your learning. It's evaluation time. Spot the natural resources in the grid. The words may be read horizontally, vertically, diagonally, and backward. Time starts now. Time's up. Did you spot some of these resources? Good job. Let's continue. Try to classify these resources as renewable or non-renewable. Go. Here are the answers. Renewable resources include water, animals, wood, and sunlight. Meanwhile, non-renewable sources include coal, oil, minerals, natural gas, and soil. Lastly, read and analyze the actions carefully. If they demonstrate sustainable practices, place a check mark. If not, place a cross. Are you ready? Go! Sustainable practices here are planting new and young trees in depleted lands, utilizing organic waste materials as fertilizer for soil, and exploring other energy resources as alternatives to fossil fuels. On the other hand, unsustainable practices are burning of plastics to reduce wastes and using showers instead of buckets. Congratulations for a job well done, learners! And that's all for our lesson today on using Earth's natural resources sustainably. I hope you realize that without the Earth and its resources, we will definitely not survive. So let us practice ways that will help conserve our natural resources. Thank you for watching this Amazing episode. See you again next time. Bye!